people in the community will see the university as their own. Every university must perform 3 functions. Number 1, teaching. Number 2, research. Number 3, community service. This is our own community service, and we are so happy that we are starting off. The situation in the country is so tough. In fact, I want to salute you for being able to come. Please, let us clap for ourselves that we are here, despite all odds. By now, everybody ought to be locked away in his house, not going anywhere. There is no petrol, there is no naira, and we are still here. I want to really appreciate you. You have done so well. But you are going to see the result of our collaboration very shortly, because it is very important for living. There are two of us will be addressing the congregation today, and Mrs. Olufumilola Faminu is from UCH. They will read a citation. I don't want to read it for us. And they will introduce her to us, and then you will listen to her. We give her about 20 minutes to make a presentation. Then they will also read my citation for you, and then you will now listen to me. Mrs. Faminu is the first person to take us through a presentation. She will use the PowerPoint. Let me tell you one of the things we are going to achieve from this meeting. We are going to enter into collaboration of how we are going to help our people, firstly in the immediate community, then secondly, people in other places. We will show you how to do it very shortly. Mrs. Faminu, she's an expert in that area, and she will, after my presentation, she will come up again. We have discussed this morning some of the things we want to do and how we're going to do it. I don't want to take much of your time. I will now invite the orator to come and read the citation for Mrs. Faminu. Mrs. Faminu will stand up. They will read your citation. We give you 20 minutes to make your presentation. Once again, you are welcome. Thank you. God bless you.
Her citation will be very short, but please, could I have you standing? Thank you. Olufumilola Faminu is a consultant nurse practitioner and the Deputy Director of Nursing at the University College Hospital, Ibadan. She is also the Financial Secretary of West African Postgraduate College of Nurses and Midwives, Oyo Oshu Branch, which is an affiliate of West African Health Organization dedicated to excellence in nursing research. She has a Bachelor of Nursing Science from Obafemi Awolowo University, Masters in Public Health, Population and Reproductive Health Education from University of Ibadan, a postgraduate diploma in education from the National Open University, and a fellow of West African College of Postgraduate Nurses and Midwives. I think she deserves a clap. She's quite young because she was just born over 4 decades ago to the Ajibade family, a native of, is it Papalanto in Ogun State? But to seal it up, she has a lot, she belongs to a lot of professional bodies. Of course, she's a registered nurse, she's a registered midwife, and like I said, she's a fellow of West African Postgraduate College of Nurses and Midwives. To top it up, Olufumilola is happily married and blessed with 2 boys. One of the boys are here. Please, can you give us standing? Please appreciate. And so to take us on this short citation, this short facilitation we're going to have now is Faminu Olufumilola Adiola. Please, can you come and take the mic? Please put your hands together as we welcome her. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I want to appreciate everybody. I want to thank God for the opportunity. the Vice Chancellor, Precious Cornerstone University, the Registrar, ma. Good morning, ma. And then, sir, our Chief Adeniro, I greet you, sir, and all the other representatives of the community. Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma's. And then our students, great Nigerian students. You are not here. Great Nigerian students. Yes, I'm a union leader, so when I greet you, you should respond like the great Nigerian students that we know. Great Nigerian students. Good morning. Trust that we had a good night rest. We are going to talk about sleep this morning, and it's a very important, very germane topic. If you look at this that is here, the Sustainable Development Goals, the number 3 goal says ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. This that we are discussing this morning, sleep, is an important aspect of ensuring that we live healthy lives and we have well-being for all. It does not exclude anybody. Next slide, please. This is my outline. Go on. Yes. I said sleep was said to be discovered by a Greek physician named Alcmaeon in 450 BC. That is before Christ. He was said to have discovered sleep, and then he said that sleep was a spell of unconsciousness brought on by the lack of circulation to the brain because of blood draining from the body surface. We know better now, but that's what he postulated then because of the limited knowledge that he had that blood will be drained. If blood were drained from the brain while we were asleep, we will not wake up again. But that was his own understanding then when he said that's what happened when we will be unconscious. Yes, we will be unconscious of our immediate environment, but sorry, there is no lack of circulation. There is indeed lack of circulation. If the brain lacks circulation for a few minutes, forget it. That individual is gone. That is why you see when anybody collapses, it's only in this part of the world that we are not conversant with CPR. Once anybody collapses and you are there at the first person, whoever you are, you don't need to be a nurse, you don't need to be a doctor, but just that you are a person, and you start CPR immediately because blood has stopped. There's no flow of circulation, but once you start immediately, then we are able to revive the person because you are there and you are the first responder. Next slide, please. Now, what is sleep? It is a complex biological process. A lot of things happen when we sleep. Then sleep helps people to process information, stay healthy. Remember our number 3 SDG, that ensure healthy lives. So sleep helps us to stay healthy and re-energizes us. When we sleep very well. Not the as we go on, you will see that the different stages of sleep. And then you'll be able to judge yourself and see that, am I sleeping well? Am I having a good night rest? We'll be able to say that. Then it is also a period during which the brain is engaged in a number of activities necessary to life. Remember I said that's Alcmaeon who said that the blood is drained from the brain. It is wrong. That was his own thinking then, that once sleep occurs, then it means all activities are stopped. It does not stop. But the person, look at this person that is sleeping peacefully now. It's what happens when a person has a good night's sleep like this, a good rest, then he wakes up re-energized, ready to face the new day. According to the World Health Organization, next slide please. Sleep is a normal, reversible, recurrent state of reduced responsiveness to external stimulation accompanied by complex and predictable changes in physiology. That's the definition the WHO gave us on sleep. It said it's a basic human need. I hope you agree with me that sleep is a basic human need. Everybody needs to sleep. Everybody needs to rest. As we go on, you will see that there is a term referred to as sleep debt. When you have sleep debt, it means that you have been owing yourself that desired sleep, that important sleep. So you now accumulate the debt, which everybody must pay. You know, we say that one cannot cheat nature. It is normal, it is basic for everybody to sleep. We say it is essential for good health and good quality of life. Sleep is necessary for good performance during the day. If you cast your mind back and you think that, it's true, you know, we now say that somebody woke up on the wrong side of the bed. No, he didn't wake up on the wrong side of the bed. He just didn't have enough sleep, didn't have enough rest. Or you might say that, but he went to bed at 10 p.m. and got up at 6 a.m. Oh yes, he went to bed. Did he sleep? You know, there is this saying that money can buy a bed, but it cannot buy sleep. So can be said that he went to sleep, but he went to bed. Did he sleep? Did his body undergo those biological processes that we had identified before, that it is necessary to re-energize the individual? Next slide, please. These are the 4 stages of sleep. Unfortunately, the slides this one is not clear, but I'm going to describe the stages of sleep in the next, as we go on. There are 4 stages, 2 phases, and 4 stages. We call one non-responsive. Take it to the next slide. Non-rapid eye movement. Then there's rapid eye movement. I said 4 stages, 2 phases. The non-rapid eye movement has 3 stages, and then the rapid eye movement makes up for the 4th stage. Next slide. What happens during those stages? Stage 1, there is light sleeping, which lasts for like 5 to 10 minutes. All these stages go on consecutively, and there is no break. But it's just that scientists have identified that there are 4 stages. We are the ones that will say, okay, it's in stages, it now goes like this. But it's just seamless. You just go on and sleep like that. Stage 2 says there are periods of muscle tone mixed with periods of muscle relaxation. Eye movement stops, heart rate slows, and body temperature decreases. Brain waves becomes slower, and the body prepares to enter deep sleep. So at that stage, you are just like trying to adjust, trying to get into the process of really sleeping. Next slide, please. This is the stage 3 of the non-rapid eye movement stage. This stage is deep sleep. The brain produces delta waves. Remember again, the brain is not dead while we are sleeping. The brain is quite active. The brain is quite active. So it produces delta waves. That is very slow brain waves. At this stage, it is hard for someone to be woken during this stage. It is hard for someone to be woken up. That's what we mean. Then there is no eye movement or muscle activity. And when this sleep is interrupted, that you know those stages, as I'm describing them, you'll be able to relate and know that when at that stage and then somebody now wakes you up, it takes that effort to just be a bit groggy. You like trying to come back, in quotes, to our senses at this stage. Next slide, please. Now, this is now the rapid eye movement stage. This happens about 60 to 90 minutes after falling asleep. And this is where we have dreams. It is at this stage that we have different kinds of dream. Then there is increased brain activity and muscle relaxation. The body is totally relaxed. These are the activities that take place in the body during this stage. There's faster breathing, there's increased heart rate and blood pressure. During this stage, there's spinal erections for men and rapid eye movements. The amount of rapid eye movement sleep changes with age. Let us note that. It changes with age. We will observe too that it seems that the rate at which I sleep these days is a bit reduced. Although some might be due to sleep disorders, but then it is just normal, it is natural that, no, the previous slide please. Just normal that this is what happens. We recall that when we have babies, at this stage, the children sleep very well. They sleep most of the time 20 to 20, almost 24 hours during the day. The babies are asleep. And then at early childhood, they also sleep. During adolescence and young adulthood, sleep declines with age. Then as a person gets older, it also declines further. Next slide now. Let's look at this. We are going to on to discuss why don't we get enough sleep. What happens? Look at this person. Most of us are in this category. Or when you are somebody that enjoys reading novels, you'll be like, yay, this part that I've gotten to is so very interesting. I don't want to stop. This part, let me quickly read that chapter. You read that chapter kept you in suspense and say, let me proceed. She says, now I can read a few pages before I sleep. Reading. 6 hours later, just one more chapter. If you look at that person's eyes, you see that it's already turning. Next slide. So, what affects our sleep quality? There are chemical signals on the brain which influence the sleep and wake cycles. These are the examples of the factors that change it. Alcohol. How many of us still imbibe in alcohol? Alcohol in whatever form. We will still get to the sleep rule. That sleep rule tells us a little bit more about when you should consume, the time you should consume alcohol before sleep, so that it will not affect the quality of sleep. Caffeine and pseudoephedrine. Caffeine from different sources. From Coca-Cola that we drink. Note, most of our soft drinks, Coca-Cola in particular, tea, coffee, Lipton, a little bit. Some of the drugs that we consume, alabukun, a little bit of caffeine. So we need to be very careful of the drugs we consume because they are not healthy for us. It's been over the years that we feel that what's with alabukun, just take it and you are fine. Maybe we should do a little experiment. Go and buy it and look at the contents. All of us have mobile phones. When you buy it and look at the contents, as soon as you check the contents, bring out your mobile phone and type, what is caffeine? It will bring it out. Health dangers of this, it will bring it out. So that you know what you are consuming and know that it is in no way beneficial to your health. Medications such as antidepressants, we cannot rule that out if need be to take such antidepressants, but there are rules. Okay, this drug must be taken 2 hours before bedtime, and before bedtime we need to comply. Very hot or cold temperatures. We are in February, but we observe that it seems that harmattan is returning. This is another thing that can affect our sleep pattern. Or extreme heat, you won't be able to sleep. You feel like maybe I should go to the bathroom again, or maybe I should lie down inside the bathtub or put on the fan. Yes, you can put on the fan. There's no light. So these are factors that affect our sleep quality. Heavy smoking. They say, the foolishness about, sorry to say that, use that word, but the foolishness of people that are taking this that are smoking is that they already wrote it there. Smokers are liable to die young. And you have read it, but you still feel that, well, something or one thing is going to kill a person. I don't understand that logic. So if something is meant to kill, so you want to actually be the precursor to that death. Why? Why? Next slide, please. So these are the sleep requirements for different ages. Infants need about 16 hours a day. Toddlers and preschoolers need about 12 hours. Teenagers need about 9 hours. Adults need 7 to 8 hours. Pregnant women often need more sleep during the first trimester because that is when the child is being formed in the womb. So the mother needs enough rest during this period. Next. I talked about this earlier, sleep debt. And what is this? It is a concept that occurs when an individual has not slept well or long enough for a few days. It causes physical and mental exhaustion. Like I said earlier, that you cannot cheat nature. The body will demand for its normal requirements. Or you feel that, yes, I need to read, I need to study, but at the same time, you need to rest. I need to hustle. I need to get money. I need to ensure that my family is comfortable. You need rest. Because this body, it has its own limits. You need to feed it. You need to allow it to rest. You need to allow it to rest. So when we deprive this body of that rest that it requires, we begin to acquire these debts, and we must pay it, whether we like it or not. Now, the solution is to ensure enough sleep all week long, as weekends only are not adequate. I will explain. You feel that, from Monday to Friday, you didn't get enough sleep. You are now looking forward to Saturday. You know, that's when we say, thank God it's Friday. Because this Friday, you are like, thank God. So tomorrow I'm not going out. All the sleep that I've deprived myself in the course of the week, today is the day to pay it. No, it doesn't work that way. It does not work that way, because that debt is there. You have accumulated it. So the best bet is ensure the minimum hours of sleep per day to avoid sleep debt from happening to you. This is the sleep rule. It's 10-3-2-1-0 sleep rule. And what does it say? It says cut out caffeine 10 hours before sleep. I've told you some of the sources of caffeine, some of the things that we overlook. Some people are totally dependent on Coca-Cola. Absolutely dependent on Coca-Cola. Trust me, you are not doing yourself any good, because your body is accumulating the caffeine. You're just keeping it in store. The caffeine, you're accumulating it. The sugar, your body is storing it and just keeping it, so that the day it will now tell you that all the contribution you have been making, all the savings you have been making, okay, this is now the day. And that will also lead me to also talk a little about non-communicable diseases. These are some of the precursors. All those drinks that we take, those junk food, precursors to non-communicable disease. Solution: ditch them. Stop them. Let's embrace natural. Let's embrace all these natural herbal remedies within us, in our environment. What are the fruits in season? Please ensure that you take enough of them. It is good, it is beneficial to our body. It does not save up in the body and begin to have issues with it later, leading to this non-communicable disease that is on the increase amongst youths, amongst elders. Diabetes, non-communicable diseases too. Non-communicable disease too. Number three, the Figure 3, no alcohol 3 hours before bed. If you feel that you must take alcohol, you feel you must, which is not important anyway to me. No alcohol 3 hours before sleep if you want to have a good night rest. Then stop working 2 hours before bed. Stop working 2 hours before bed. It's not that 2 hours that you are almost ready to go and sleep. I remember, I've not washed all the clothes that I promised that I was going to wash, so let me quickly wash them. I didn't remember to make adequate preparations for the following, for tomorrow. Let me go. No, it will not allow you to have a good night rest. No screens 1 hour before bed. I want to look at this direction. We know ourselves. What is that screen that I'm talking about? Our phone, our mobile phone, our laptop, our system. But most importantly, that phone. You know that phone is your mobile office. If your phone is not with you anywhere, you feel you are empty. You are not at rest if your phone is not with you. The sleep rule says no screens 1 hour before bed. We know ourselves though, but we need to change from that. It is at that time that you feel that you are finally settled on the bed. Let me come and start responding to all the messages that have been on my phone since morning. You know, most of our intellectuals, we feel that since morning, somebody sent a message to me on WhatsApp. Now is the time to respond. That post on Facebook that people were raving about in the morning. Okay, I want to check it up. That Instagram post. It is time to check it. No, please. No. Then do not hit the snooze button. We know the snooze button. All of us set alarms on our phone and say that, yes, I want to wake up at this time. That's the 0 part in the sleep rule. 0, do not hit it. Look at this person. Can we look at the time? What's the time? Please, let's echo it. AM, not PM. What do you think is happening to this person? He cannot sleep. He's not sleeping. Look at his eyes wide open, looking worried. What do you think this person, when this person now wakes up in the morning and you say, good morning, sir. What will you eat? You now say, maybe he woke up on the wrong side of it. He didn't wake up on any wrong side of the bed. He just did not sleep at all. Look at him wide awake at 3:20 a.m. This leads me to talk about sleep disorders. Next slide. Let's look at the prevalence of sleep disorders. They said in America, 50 to 70 million adults are affected by sleep disorders. However, in Nigeria, it is 44.1%. And the most common pattern of sleep disorder was insomnia, lack of sleep. Lack of sleep. Next. Next slide, please. What are these sleep disorders? Insomnia. Like I said, this one is complete lack of sleep. Cannot sleep at all. This could be due to one illness or the other, or any of those factors that we have identified before. Maybe the person has imbibed so much alcohol, is imbibing so much alcohol, has taken so much caffeine, and as such cannot sleep, cannot observe that normal sleep. Narcolepsy. This sounds big, but it just means that excessive daytime sleepiness. You know, that once you are just seated in one place or one corner, that you feel that, Allah to me, dear, you just go on and sleep. And it so becomes, it happens frequently. And then you know that some people will be like, was that person beaten by a tsetse fly? No, it's a condition. Then there's restless leg syndrome. That's unpleasant sensations in the leg. Comes with prickling or tingling. Then there's sleep apnea. That apnea means that brief cessation of breathing. The person, while sleeping, some people have is a very serious condition that while they are asleep, they just stopped breathing for a few seconds. Stop breathing for a few minutes. It's for such, it needs to go to the hospital, have investigations done, and be treated. Then we come to the last one, snoring. Snoring. Due to a lot of factors. But when we observe that, this person snores too much, please visit the hospital. See a health practitioner, because it might be due to a very serious condition. Don't let me be blowing medical terms. Needs to be seen, needs to be addressed. So if you observe that, please seek medical attention. Next slide, please. What are the benefits of good sleep? Improved mood. Like I said, let's cast our minds back to that man at 3:20 a.m. that was still wide awake. In fact, his eyes were wide open. You meet that kind of person in the morning and you say, good morning, and he asks you, what's good about the morning? Of course, the mood will be crappy. It will be very crappy. It will be very irritable. Doesn't even want you to talk to him because he himself is tensed up. His body is not at rest. He couldn't get enough sleep. Healthy heart. Healthy heart. You know, like I said earlier, that sleep is a complex biological process. So while we are at sleep, a lot of things go on in our body. That is the way God has designed it. So if you now miss that sleep, then it means that things are not, you are not allowing your body to take that adequate rest. Regulated blood sugar, improved mental function, restored immune system, stress relief, athletic performance, maintaining healthy weight. Next slide. I need to rush now. This is also a pictorial representation of the many benefits of a good night's sleep. Next. Tips for getting better sleep. Have a sleep schedule. Have a sleep schedule. A good sleep environment. Exercises. Relaxation activities. Take a bath before sleeping. Reading, but with caution. Remember that we are not reading 2 hours. Is it 2 hours before going to bed? Conscious effort to clear the mind. Avoid caffeine, nicotine, and alcohol before bedtime. Then, no screen. Screen time will be strictly regulated. Then talk to a doctor about sleep. If you are having any of the issues that I discussed earlier under the sleep disorders. Now, let me quickly talk about the World Sleep Day. For you to know the importance of sleep, there is an association called Sleep Foundation. They have recognized that sleep is important. So there is a World Sleep Day that is being celebrated every 3rd Friday in March. Another one is coming up this year, and the theme is sleep is essential for health. Next. Next slide should be my references. Then the next one, I quickly want to talk about the next slide, please. Yes, the West African Postgraduate College of Nurses and Midwives. First, let me tell you that we are nurses. We are nurses. I represent the West African Postgraduate College of Nurses and Midwives, and we are collaborating with the PCU to ensure that we have community outreaches, we educate the community, and we boost their healthy living. We give them health education, and then we also contribute to sustainable development goals by ensuring that people live healthy lives and we promote their well-being. So like I said, we are nurses. Remember that there are nurses and there are nurses, not just the ones you see on TV and the prototype that you see and they say, doctor, those ones are not qualified, they are not trained nurses. I am a nurse and I'm proudly so. So this team is a community of scholars dedicated to academic excellence and nursing research, and is an affiliate of the West African Health Organization. We are established to undertake activities that will contribute to the attainment of the highest possible standards of good health for the peoples of the sub-region. Next slide. And we have different faculties in our college through which we reach out to the public. So we are nurses, we are available, we are not just people that you can. And then one thing I should also stress to us is that when you see a nurse, you will know a nurse. Yeah, you have a right to also ask questions when you are in the hospital and say that, yes, nurse, this that you are giving me, what is it for? And my pressure that you have taken, I want to know it. It is your right because it is you. Finally, I'll conclude with the college, and then let me say that, like I said, that we are ready to work with you, to work with the community, so that we can promote our health. Thank you. She's standing already.
Thank you very much. That was a good one. Please, let's clap for her. This place is very hot, oh. This place is very hot. So before you can even stand here and begin to it's not easy, oh. Let's appreciate God and what we have heard, and I hope it will go home with us. Not just going home with us, but that we'll put it into practice. Sleep is important. Thank you very much, my sister. Now we want to quickly take the citation for the second facilitator, our own Vice Chancellor of Precious Cornerstone University. He will be educating us on sleep, but his own angle. She has come from the medical dimension. The Vice Chancellor of this university will come from another dimension where you never thought it will come. Please, can we have you standing, sir, while we take your citation? Professor Luke was born on 17th December 1958. He obtained a PhD in microbiology from Obafemi Awolowo University in 1989. He became a professor of microbiology and biotechnology at Ladoke Akintola University of Technology in 1999. Between 1993 and 1994, he did some genetic engineering work on unusual isolates of Bacillus thuringiensis, the biology department of University of Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. As a result of this preliminary work, the organism was deposited at the American Culture Collection as Bacillus thuringiensis oloki and filed for American patent with ascension number of WO 1997-041234. Can we put our hands together for that? The research group of Professor Loke successfully constructed a computerized bioreactor and computerized temporary immersion bioreactor, which are very vital in microbial fermentation and tissue culture. The bioreactors were adjudged one of the 10 outstanding research work at the first ever AUC research fair in Abuja. This feat contributed to fetching Ladoke Akintola University of Technology the first position among all state universities of Nigeria for 3 consecutive years. This research discovery has since been acquired by the National Biotechnology Development Agency, Abuja, Nigeria. Now, in a quest to find a long-lasting solution to immunocompromised conditions, Professor Loke formulated an immune modulating agent known as the Trinity Immuno Booster, Trino IB. It should be something you should ask for after this talk. Please make sure you ask, and it will be given to you. I'm sure he has more than enough. I am somebody who is with that immune booster, and I don't regret it. Thank you very much, sir. It was given a NAFDAC number in 2007 and has been successfully used for the management of different immunocompromised conditions, both in Nigeria and some other countries. As a result of this feat, Professor Loke was conferred with National Productivity Order of Merit Award by the Federal Government of Nigeria in August 2012. Please, let's appreciate God. In Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Ogbomoso, he has served in different administrative posts like Head of Department, Pure and Applied Biology, Director, Academic Planning, and Chairman, Pre-Degree Science Program. Professor Loke has served as a member of governing councils for Ladoke Akintola University of Technology and the Nigerian Baptist Theology Seminary, Ogbomoso in Nigeria. He has graduated more than 20 doctoral students, some of which have become professors. Professor Loke, who has served as a member of NUC accreditation panels to 3 universities, had been a visiting professor to University of Lagos and Osun State University. Among his international travels in May 2014, Professor Loke was specially invited to All Saints University College of Medicine in St. Vincent and Grenadines as a foundation dean for the Faculty of Science. During his stay in All Saints University, he played a major role in the accreditation exercise of the university and assisted the university in setting up a research committee. He has been the chairman, Lautech Christian Community since 1991 to date. He was the Ogbomoso Baptist Conference representative and national executive of Nigerian Baptist Convention for 8 good years. In August 2018, Professor J. Loke was appointed as a pioneer vice chancellor of this wonderful university in Ibadan. He has been able to bring on board out of his wealth of experience to build the university with strong entrepreneurship drive, empowering students to be employers of labor. The first set of students graduated in a convocation ceremony that was held in November 2022. At the advent of COVID-19, Professor Loke and his team and other scientists led a team of scientists to develop 2 COVID-19 vaccines. The vaccines are at the stage of animal trials. Professor Loke is a certified health and wellness coach by the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. He's also a certified behavioral coach by Precision Nutrition. Of course, back to family life. He is married and blessed with children. Can we have him, please? My Vice Chancellor, please come and take the podium. Thank you very much.
Once again, good morning, everybody. We are happy to have you around, despite the fact, the challenges that we have in our nation. We all gather together like this. And as I said, we are trying to start a form of collaboration between Precious Cornerstone University, the nurses from UCH, the members of the community, and the members of the university. And we will tell you more about this collaboration as we go on. I want to go through my slide quickly so that I can show you some other things that we want to do. Today we are talking about sleep, and I'm so happy with the presentation of my sister. She has done very, very well. Let's give her a round of applause. Actually, some of the things that she said is also in my note. When I get to where those things that she has talked about, I will just jump it so that we can lay emphasis on more other things. So, sleep, optimal sleep for optimal health. Can I have the next slide, please? Precious Cornerstone University is a faith-based university owned by Sword of the Spirit Ministry, and Bishop Francis Walioke, the presiding bishop of the Sword of the Spirit Ministry, is the chancellor and visitor of our university, and we all know that he has been laboring in these premises for several years, and God gave him the vision to set up Precious Cornerstone University. He carried the vision for several years. Eventually, God helped him. The vision has matured, and we now have Precious Cornerstone University. Let's give a round of applause for Bishop Francis Walioke. If you don't know him, that's his picture. He's a friendly person. You can see he's a fine-looking gentleman. Can I have the next slide, please? Now, Precious Cornerstone University took off in August 2018. And to the glory of God, we graduated our first test of students in November last year. And in our university, we try to lay emphasis on entrepreneurship. We try to inculcate into our students ability to become employers of labor. And in fact, immediately after this program, our students will be exhibiting some of the products they have been able to come up with in their entrepreneurship drive. And when we finish our interaction today, the first thing we do is we want to go and take pictures there. So our babas, they will lead the team. We go and take pictures at the Faculty of Science. We will show you some few things. Then we will create your indulgence to visit the stand of our student so that you will have a look at some of the things that they've been able to come up with. Because, as I said, we want to fully introduce your university to you, members of the community. Precious Cornerstone University is your university. And we want you to see what you can benefit from this university. We want to collaborate together. We want to see those things we can do together. We want you to help us in student drive and recommend our university to people because it is your university. And therefore, I put here that if you have people that are looking for admission, you have wards that are looking for admission, they want to become employers of labor, direct them to Precious Cornerstone University. Now, I've listed the different programs that we do in Precious Cornerstone University. If you need more information about it, we give it to you. But we are doing almost anything that can benefit the students. We have Faculty of Science, where we do microbiology, BSc microbiology, BSc biochemistry, BSc computer science, and then we have BSc cybersecurity, BSc software engineering, BSc physics with electronics. And we have Faculty of Management Sciences, where we have BSc economics, BSc accounting, BSc business administration, BSc procurement management. We also have BSc banking and finance and other courses. So we want you to introduce people that are looking for admission to our university. When they come to our university, we will train them to become employers of labor. They will not just be looking for work, but they will be able to set up their own outfit where they can employ people. Can I have the next slide, please? So, okay, I want to briefly introduce myself to you in addition to the introduction that has been done. Because somebody may say, why are you talking on sleep? You're a professor of microbiology and biotechnology. In addition to being professor of microbiology and biotechnology, I want to tell you that I did my PhD on Aframomum melegueta. Aframomum melegueta is otherwise known as Atare alligator pepper. You know, Atare is utilized for traditional healing. One of the reasons why I did my work on this was to find out the claims of the traditional healers. The traditional healers, they always tell us that if you want Atare to work for you, you have to combine it with incantations. That unless you combine Atare with incantations, if you hit 7 seeds of Atare and you don't combine it with incantation, it may not work for you. But I proved from my PhD thesis that the components of Atare are sugarol, gingerol, and paradol. And these are phenolic compounds on their own. They have ability to inhibit microorganisms. You don't need to combine incantation with Atare before it works. And therefore, we are trying to tell people that the local herbs, they work on their own. We don't need to mix magic. You don't need to mix magic with the use of herbs. Many people, when they hear that we are talking about herbs, they become frightened. They think we are trying to introduce occultism. Oh, the use of local herbs doesn't have anything to do with occultism at all. That's what we are trying to say. The herbs they are able to provide well-being to us. And I've trained close to 20 PhD students on different apps of local apps. And what we have discovered is that the apps, they have the efficacy to help us to maintain good health. And one of the things we're going to achieve through this kind of collaboration is that we're going to have different trainings on how people can make use of different apps, how you can solve different problems. And also, I'm a certified health and wellness coach. I'm a certified health and wellness coach by American College of Medicine. And this is the certificate that they gave me when I went through the training. Why am I interested in this? 2 reasons. Number 1, we discovered that many people are dying. People are dying of diseases that can be reverted. People are dying of diseases that can be reverted. And through this relationship, through this collaboration, we will show you how to revert different diseases, including cancer. Cancer is not a death sentence, I'm telling you. If you have cancer, we will show you what you will eat, how you will overcome your cancer. Of course, diabetes. You don't need to die of type 2 diabetes. No. You can revert type 2 diabetes. And so many high blood pressure, all the diseases that people are dying of. You don't need to die like that. Now, let me tell you the second reason why I actually went for training to become a certified health and wellness coach. About 5 years ago, when I turned 60 years old, I discovered that different organs of my body, it was like they were having challenges, as if they would be shut down. That's when I started looking for help. And when I finished going through this training, I discovered that it is possible to live up to 100 years without having dementia, without having high blood pressure. I'm telling you, if you want to live up to 100 years in good health, this is the kind of collaboration that can help you, because that's our target. Anybody that is collaborating with us, we will teach you how to live up to 100 years in good health. It's possible. And that's why we are bringing people together. Let's show people how to live a healthy life. Because many people, they feel that when you are growing old, you should lose your memory. No! You don't need to lose your memory as you grow old. You can be agile, you can be active. You can perform whatever you are doing. And that's why this collaboration will work very well. Can I have the next slide, please? No, in the next slide, I also show you that I'm a certified behavioral change coach. And I was certified by Precision Nutrition. Therefore, we are at it. We can go ahead and begin to collaborate together so that we live a healthy life. All the people that are dying around you, they don't need to die. That's the message I want you to take home today. People, you don't need to die prematurely if you do what you are supposed to do. And we are going to do it very well. And I believe we will get results. Can I have the next slide, please? Next slide. Okay, so let's get to business. The word of wisdom. The word of wisdom, 3 things. To stay healthy, you need to do 3 things. Number 1, eat your vegetable. Number 2, go outside and play. Number 3, get your sleep. These are the 3 things that will make you to be healthy in life. Eat your vegetable. I can speak for 3 hours on that one alone. Eat your vegetables. But that will be for another day. I don't want to go to that. That will be for another day. What's the second one? Can you go back again? Go back again. Go outside and play. For those of our people that are elderly, don't just be sitting down in the house. Don't sit down. Go outside and play. Any opportunity I have to walk from the from my office to this place, I enjoy it. I always love to walk inside the sun. And I will tell you some of these things later. We are going to have multiples of this so that we can explain many of these things to us. When you go out to play, you are doing a lot of things. If you don't have anything to do, just be walking around. Don't sit down, don't sleep. You will see. One of the golden rules for sleep, some people, they will be sleeping from morning till afternoon, till evening, and they still want to sleep in the evening. Why? I will show you the trick. It's wrong. Anyway, what concerns us today is get your sleep. Get your sleep. It's better said than done. There's so many complications that are associated with sleep. I will show you some of them very shortly. Can I have the next slide, please? Quickly. Yep. Now, my sister has given a very good definition of sleep. So I don't need to bother myself about this again. Can I have the next slide, please? It's another second definition of sleep, but I don't want to bother my head. Can I have the next slide, please? Now, my sister also gave us this information, the function and promise of sleep. And I have here, it's replaced the store energy. You'll be happy when you sleep very well. You'll be happy. One of the reasons why you feel sad is because you have not, she said it, you have not slept well. Your eyes are red. We call it sleepiness. I will talk about that shortly. Memory, improvement of memory, brain health. Number 4 is another talk for another day. That is, enhances neuroplasticity. It enhances neuroplasticity. That is to say, you will not have dementia. Dementia is loss of memory. And many people, they have associated aging with loss of memory. It's wrong. It's not true. It's not true. You don't need to lose your memory because you are old. You can have your memory even when you are old. Then, at F, my sister has talked about that. Can I go to the next slide, please? And improve mood. When you sleep very well, your mood, you will be in great mood. Then, anti-inflammatory. One of the things that cause diseases is inflammation reaction. That's another talk for another day. I can talk for 1 hour on that. Inflammation reaction. How they induce different diseases like cancer, everything. Then, when you sleep, you rejuvenate the cell. You rejuvenate the cell. You reset the system. You reset your system, and your brain becomes cool. You cool down. Can I have the next slide, please? Now, when it comes to optimal sleep, we lay emphasis on quantity and then quality. When it comes to quantity, the short message is that you must get enough sleep. My sister gave the different enough sleep that you need. When it comes to quality, most of the time, people may be aware that they are not sleeping very well, but people may not be aware that they are having disordered sleep. I will show you shortly. Can I have the next slide, please? Now, my sister talked about this. Recommended hours of sleep per day is very clear. 0 to 3 months, 14 to 17 hours, 4 to 11 years, and so on and so forth. But for the elderly ones, 18 to 64 and above 65, between 7, 8 hours, 9 hours. This is very important for the elderly ones, and I will lay emphasis on that later. Let me quickly move on. Can I have the next slide, please? Now, my sister mentioned this. When you want to have a good night's sleep, be careful of taking naps during the day. Siesta. In fact, if you want to do siesta Do it around 12 noon. And don't do siesta for more than 30 minutes. It's not good for you to do siesta from 2 p.m. and you extend your siesta to 4 p.m. It's wrong. It will disturb your sleep in the night. If you must do siesta, the best time to do it is around 12 noon. And you don't do for more than 30 minutes so that you can sleep in the night. Let me tell you, you begin to prepare to sleep in the night immediately you wake up in the morning. Let me say that again. That's very important too. Immediately you wake up in the morning, that's when you begin to prepare to sleep very well in the night. I will show you some of the things that you do, including walking inside the sunlight. When you wake up in the morning, you gaze at the rising sun for about 15 minutes. You are preparing for sleep in the night. Anyway, let's just move on. Please, can I have the next slide quickly? Now, the consequences of poor sleep is sleepiness. Sleepiness. And I will take some time on this. Can I have the next slide? What is sleepiness? We will define sleepiness by telling you what is not normal. It is not normal to fall asleep reading quietly in the afternoon. That is a sign that you are suffering from sleepiness. And many of us suffer from that. When you are reading in the afternoon, you fall asleep. It's wrong. It's because you are suffering from sleepiness. It is wrong to drift off. When you are having a meeting in the afternoon, you slept off. It is wrong. It is a sign that you are suffering from sleepiness. Let me tell you, it is wrong to sleep in the aircraft. When you are traveling, if you travel to US, the flight to US is 12 hours. 12 hours non-stop. When you sleep inside the aircraft, it's because you are suffering from sleepiness. Because the condition in the aircraft is not supposed to make you to sleep. All those things that they advertise in the television, where people sleep in the aircraft, all those things, they are crack. They are crack. When you sleep in the aircraft, it shows you are suffering from sleepiness. However, I'm not saying you should not sleep. I've slept, when I traveled to US last time, I slept in the aircraft. 12 hours, non-stop. No? Now, it is wrong to fall asleep when you are watching television in the early evenings. It is a sign that you are suffering from sleepiness. Now, it is also wrong when you are a passenger in a car and you fall asleep. It's wrong. You are suffering from sleepiness. Now, then, maybe you are driving and there is a stop signal and you slept off. When you are waiting for the red light to turn green, you are suffering from sleepiness. Next slide, please. Now, my sister talked about consequences of poor sleep. And I have it here. If now 60 hours awake or 6 hours of sleep perform like a person with blood alcohol level of 0.05. If you are awake for over 16 hours or you have less than 6 hours of sleep, you are equivalent to somebody who has taken alcohol, who has 0.05 alcohol in his blood. And the legal limit for alcohol in USA is 0.08. The legal limit for alcohol in the blood in Europe is 0.05. So you are an offender. If you were to be in a country where we regulate rules and regulation, they can arrest you because you have not slept for 16 hours or you slept less than 6 hours in a day. That is to show us the danger of sleepiness. Next slide, please. Now, what are the consequences of poor sleep? This one is very interesting. And I will show you some interesting things here. Hunger. You may never associate hunger with poor sleep. But you don't discover that you are always hungry. Not only that, you are always craving. You are craving for sweet. You are craving for fat. Now, the brain chemistry will send messengers, give me sugar. When you are suffering from sleepiness, you want to consume sugar. You want to consume more and more sugar. As you consume more sugar, you will want to consume more. The brain will be asking more sugar, more sugar. The number one problem of life is sugar. The number one problem of human being is sugar. Now, the last one is what interests me. It says, the sleepy brain is a craving brain. The sleepy brain is a craving brain. That is to say, if you are suffering from sleepiness, that means you'll be craving for things that will endanger your health. What are the things? Sugar, fat. So, if you want to crave less for sugar, sleep very well. Because craving could be so terrible for those of us that are elderly. For the young chaps, that's okay. But for those of us that are elderly, when you eat more than enough sources of sugar, you are doing, before you can clear that problem from your system, it can mean a lot to you. Now, can I have the next slide, please? Now, consequences of poor sleep: increased pain, worsening arthritis, or pain condition. Can I have the next slide? Quickly, because of time. Attention deficit disorder versus sleepiness. We have discovered that sleepiness can be equated to attention deficit disorder. And these are the results of attention deficit disorder: unable to prioritize, poor attentiveness, clumsiness, overconfidence, working memory problems, unable to deal with complicated new problems, unable to judge impairment and risk-taking behavior. You can see it's not good to be suffering from sleepiness. Next slide, please. Next slide. Now, my sister talked about this, the restless leg syndrome. Restless leg syndrome, it typically occurs while you are sitting or lying down. It generally worsens with age and can disrupt sleep. Urge to move legs, accompanied or caused by uncomfortable sensation. Rest-induced syndrome, and it could be bad at evening. And I will show you a few things about this. Can I have the next slide? Quickly. Now, these are the different reasons why people may be suffering from restless leg syndrome. It's so clear. It could be as a result of deficiency in some vitamins, the use of caffeine, people that are diabetes, if you have kidney disease, if you have high blood sugar and things like that. Please, can I have the next slide because of time? And these are the treatment option for restless legs syndrome. Take some vitamin C, some vitamins, but you need to see your doctor. As she said that when you are suffering from restless leg syndrome, when you want to be quiet, but you discover that your knees are just moving uncontrollably, it can disturb your sleep. That's why we are looking at it. Go and see your doctor. But some of the things that you can do are here. Can I have the next slide, please? I want to go to very important aspect of this presentation. Now, my sister talked about sleep apnea, and she talked about it, which is a potentially serious sleep disorder in which breathing repeatedly stops and starts. It's dangerous. She has talked about it. Go and see your doctor. Can I have the next slide, quickly? Next slide. Now, this is how to treat sleep apnea. Next slide, please. Next slide. Now, I'm getting to the most interesting part of this presentation. Insomnia. And we can have different grouping of insomnia. And I will take you through some of it quickly, and then I will now show you some tips. Can I have the next slide, quickly? Chronic insomnia. It could include dissatisfaction with quantity or quality of sleep, repeated difficulty with sleep. And the different repeated difficulty with sleep, it could include initiation of sleep. I will talk about that. That is, when you want to sleep, how to start sleeping. Then, sleep maintenance. When you are sleeping, how do you make sure that you continue to sleep and you don't wake up prematurely? If you wake up prematurely, what do you do? I will show you very shortly. Now, LAM awakening with inability to return to sleep. Then, of course, daytime distress and all those things. Now, can I have the next slide, please? Insomnia. It impacts mind and body. Prevalence of insomnia greater than 20% in adults between 18 and 65 years is strongly associated with the diseases that are listed: heart disease, diabetes. Now, many of the problems that you have, many of the diseases, many of the sicknesses may be due to your inability to sleep well, insomnia. That's what we are saying. When you learn how to sleep well, about 60% of your problem has been solved. That's a golden rule. When you learn how to sleep well, about 60% of your health problem have been solved. And I will show you very shortly. Can I have the next slide? Now, we talk about sedating apps. What are the different apps that we can use to help us to sleep well? I have a list here. Bitter leaf is the common one around us here. But there's another one, which I added later. That is lettuce. Lettuce. If you drink water extract of lettuce, it can help you to sleep. But I will show you very shortly. Now, can we go on? Let's go on to another one. Now, this slide is very important. It talks about cognitive behavioral therapy. Best therapy for insomnia. And I will spend a little time on this. Now, cognitive behavioral therapy. Cognitive is the ability of your brain to think well. When we talk about cognitive behavioral therapy, we are talking about training yourself, training your brain to sleep. What are the things that will assist you? Stimulus control. Associate bed with sleep. If you forget everything we say here today, please go home with that. Your bed, my sister showed you somebody that was reading on bed. It's wrong. The only reason why you go to bed is when you want to sleep. That is very important. Oh, I told you, some people, because they don't have anywhere to go, they wake up in the morning and they lie on the bed from morning till evening, and they still want to sleep in the night. You are training your body not to regard your bed as a place of sleep. Your body will be adapted to whatever you train it to be. If you normally read on bed, when you get to bed and you want to sleep, the body will say, no, go and take your book. Begin to read. You have to read now. If you normally take phone calls on bed and you go to bed to sleep in the night, the body will say, no, you are doing the wrong thing. Go and take your phone. Go and answer your call. Go and read your WhatsApp messages. And you are reading WhatsApp messages on bed. Nonsense. It's bad, though. Associate bed with sleep. The only reason why you sit on your bed is because you want to sleep. Somebody say, let me rest for some time. You sit on bed. No. Run away from your bed unless you want to sleep. That is what we are saying. Oh. That is cognitive therapy. You are training your brain to regard bed as a place of sleep. So that immediately you get to bed, the brain will say, it's time to sleep. It's time to sleep. This is very, very important. Very important. Now, number 2, sleep restriction. It says restrict bedtime to actual sleep time. The only time you go to bed is when you want to sleep. I've said it. But the other thing that we're saying is the time, you should have a fixed time when you go to bed, except you cannot help it. That is training your brain on when to go and sleep. You should have a fixed time. Everybody in my house, they know when it is 8:30. When it is 8:30, there's nothing you are doing. I will listen to you again. I will switch off the television. In fact, I begin to unwind. I begin to prepare myself to sleep by 8:30. That's why I only listen to channel television news by 8. Immediately they finish the news, I'm done for the day. I will switch off my phone. Of course, laptop. I pack it away. I will show you all these things. Then, target dysfunctional belief and attitude about sleep. And that is worry. Let me tell you, when you lie on bed and you are thinking that you will not sleep, you have done yourself a lot of harm. Let me say that again. Oh. When you lie on bed, say, in fact, many people are always afraid of the night because they feel they will not sleep. That is a major problem. When you are anxious, that, will I still sleep this night? No, it's wrong. Cognitive training. When you go to bed, you will say, I will sleep. Don't say, I will not sleep. When you say, I will sleep, you are training your brain to sleep. Next one, sleep hygiene. Now, when you want to sleep, between 4 to 6 hours before you sleep, you begin to prepare to sleep. That's sleep hygiene. 4 to 6 hours before you go to sleep, begin to get ready to sleep. Tune your mind. I will sleep. I will not be rolling on the bed. And then, the other one I have here is relaxation training. Teaches practices that help relax close to bedtime. I will teach you how to relax close to bedtime very shortly. But there's a way you can relax. As you are seated down, if you want to relax, there's a way you can relax. You know, we are living in the world that is full of dangers and bad news and threats. If 1 hour before you go to sleep, you receive a bad news, it will disturb your system. There is an hormone known as cortisol. Cortisol will be released into your bloodstream. And if you don't know how to relax, you may not be able to sleep. That's why the fact that you have obeyed all the rules and regulations. But somebody just phone you and give you a very bad news. But if you know how to relax, even when you have a bad news, you can relax. As I'm standing with you, I can relax. I will show you very shortly how to relax. There's a way you relax. Oh. Can I have the next slide, please? Quickly. Stimulus control. Now, I've mentioned this. Any activity that is not sleep in bed, we train the brain and the body that it's not okay to sleep in bed. That's very important. If when you get to bed, you are reading, you are training your head that the bed is for reading. Or maybe when you are in the room, you put on the light in your bedroom. You should put off the light when you want to sleep. It is a bad attitude to say that you cannot sleep without the light being on. It's wrong. Because melatonin is one of the hormones that make you to sleep. Melatonin will be shut down when there is light. Melatonin will be shut down when there is light. So it is wrong for you to be able to sleep with light on. It's wrong. It's wrong. And if you are not the only person that is sleeping in the room, you put on light, you are disturbing the other person. Those of us that are married, your wife or your husband may not need light to sleep. If you now say by force, you put on light to sleep, you are causing problem for your spouse. Now we have it here. Avoid blue light and bedroom booze. No TV, no computer, all those things. Create room that is focused on sleep. Now, it is important to create a room that is focused on sleep. Darkness. The room must be dark. If there must be source of light, it could be red light. Red light can promote sleep. Blue light will sleep. The blue light is what you have from your laptop, from your cell phone, those are blue lights. They cut off sleep. Next one, please. Next one, quickly. Sleep hygiene. I've talked about this. Now, you are preparing for sleep during the day. Daytime activity. Even if you are retired and you don't have any work to do, walk around. Go and be greeting people from house to house. I've come to say hello to you. How are you? Go to another house. Don't sit down. Inactivity will not make you to sleep in the night. Inactivity during the day will prevent you from sleeping in the night. And I will show you some trick very shortly. Now, you obey all the pre-bedtime rituals. What are the pre-bedtime rituals? Switch off your phone. Don't read in the bedroom. Put off the light when you want to sleep. I will show you other ones. Next slide, please. Daytime exposure. Of course, we have talked about this. Nighttime darkness. Alcohol, caffeine, nicotine. Now, my sister talked very well about that. Don't let me repeat it. Then exercise. Exercise is very important for sleep. And then nutritional habits. And I will lay emphasis on those two things because they will help us a lot in sleep. And I will show you the type of exercise you can do that will help you to sleep very well. Then nutritional habits, the kind of thing you can eat that will help you to sleep very well. Because of time, can I have the next slide, please? Now, okay, my sister has talked about this. Alcohol and sleep is very bad. If you drink alcohol 2 hours before you go to bed, you are doing yourself a lot of harm. Can I have the next slide, please? Now, talking about caffeine, we said it may take to 7 hours to metabolize caffeine by 60%. So, if you take a full cup of caffeine by 8 a.m., by 8 p.m., it's about quarter caffeine is still in your body. So, you see, at the other side of the head, caffeine may be good for the body, but you take coffee sparingly, maybe once, maximum twice in a week. Because some people, they are addicted to coffee. It has its good parts, but when you want to take coffee, it must not be more than twice in a week, and it must be in the morning. You must not take coffee in the afternoon or evening, because the chemical in coffee, it blocks what is known as adenosine. Adenosine is the chemical that is released when ATP is formed, and this is what is formed when you are doing exercise, and it boosts. I will show you a bit of it. It boosts sleep. Now, can I have the next slide quickly? Okay, of course, smoking. No to smoking. Can I have the next slide? Now, we now begin to get to a good part or more interesting part of this presentation. Food and sleep disruption. Now, consumption of energy-rich food, such as fat and refined carbohydrate, especially close to bedtime, is a no-go area. It is wrong to eat high carbohydrate meal and fat towards evening. It's bad. It's bad for sleep. And in fact, when you are preparing for sleep, you should take your last meal for the day around 6:30. When you are hungry, drink water. When you are hungry, drink green tea. The last meal of the day is better taken around 6:30, at worst 7 p.m. In fact, the golden rule is that if you want to take anything after 6 p.m., it's just the fruit and vegetable. Because calories, carbohydrates, and fat, they will disrupt your sleep. And you may never be able to trace what is causing problem for your sleep. Number 2, people don't know how to use vegetable to fight insomnia. I can talk for 3 hours on this. How to use vegetable to fight insomnia. But what I want you to take away from here is that the lesser the quantity of vegetable you eat, the more problem of sleep you may have. What is the meaning of that? Let us eat plenty of vegetable. If you wake up in the morning, you don't know what to eat, order for vegetable. Some people will wake up in the morning. I was talking to one of our clients yesterday. He's suffering from diabetes. I said, okay, what did you eat yesterday morning? He said he took ogi baba. I said, when did you eat the next? I said, what did you take ogi baba with? He said he took ogi baba with my. That is error number 1. Everybody say error number 1. When you wake up in the morning and you take akamu and my, it is error number 1. I asked him, I said, what did you take when did you take your next meal? He said he took his next meal 8 p.m. Listen to me, everybody. He took his next meal 8 p.m. I said, what did you take? He said he took elubo gede and ewedu. That is error number 2. Everybody say error number 2. Because these are the things that are making people to sick. Let's now judge that man. Let's analyze that man very critically. The first thing is this. When you want to take ogi in the morning, there is nothing bad in taking ogi in the morning. But the ogi that you will take in the morning should not be the ogi that have been sieved. Ogi won't share. That's number 1. But I said, if you eat fewer vegetable, you will fall sick. So when you want to take ogi in the morning, they should prepare small quantity of ogi for you with my is very good, but the my should not be prepared with palm oil. The my should be prepared with olive oil. But you have not completed the food for breakfast with plenty of vegetable. You have done yourself a lot of good for that morning. And that's why I said, if you don't know what to eat in the morning, order for vegetable. And the vegetable, gbọ́dọ̀ bọ́ ẹ̀fọ́, ẹ má máa bọ́ ẹ̀fọ́, tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ṣe ẹ̀fọ́, ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ máa bọ́ ẹ̀fọ́ nínú omi gbígbóná. Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ jẹ ẹ̀fọ́, ẹ ra ẹ̀fọ́ lọ́jà. Ẹ gé ẹ sànù. Tẹ́ bá ti sànù tán, ẹ máa ṣe ata tẹ́ ṣe, ẹ ní fi epo pupa sí, epo pupa. Epo olive oil ẹ máa fi ṣe é. Nígbà tí ata yẹn bá fẹ́ jiná, lẹ́sẹ̀sẹ̀ máa da ẹ̀fọ́ yẹn sínú ata. Ẹ̀fọ́ yẹn ò gbọ́dọ̀ lò ju 5 minutes lọ lórí iná ká ẹ sọ̀kalẹ̀. If you eat that you can eat that 10 times in a day, you will be healthy. You can eat different vegetables now. O lè jẹ ṣọkọ láàárọ̀, kó o jẹ tẹ̀tẹ̀ lọ́sàn-án, kó o jẹ gbúre lálẹ́, kó o fi ọ̀ndẹ̀ báyọ̀ fi irú sí, irú tó pọ̀ ẹ fi irú sí, kó bá lè dùn. Ẹ fi irú, ẹ má lo magí o. Ẹ máa fi irú sí. So, in the morning, we are not saying you should not drink ogi, but you must add vegetable. Everybody say vegetable. Ẹ máa fi ẹ̀fọ́ mu ogi láàárọ̀. Now, ẹni tó bá fi ẹ̀fọ́ mu ogi láàárọ̀, tó tún wá jẹ èlùbọ́ ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ ní ọ̀sán, error number 2. tó o bá ti mu ògì láàárọ̀ for the rest of the day, especially our old people, lọ́jọ́ yẹn o gbọ́dọ̀ fẹ́nu kan carbohydrate rich meal mọ́ for that day. Àwọn wo ní carbohydrate rich meal? Ẹ̀bà, àmàlà, iyán, fùfú, gàrí, rice. They are no go area for the day again. Àwọn èèyàn wá bẹ́ẹ̀ kí láwọn a máa jẹ báyìí o. There are 1,001 things that you can eat, and I will tell you. In fact, that's why you have come here this morning. Nígbà tó mú ògì bàbà àti láàárọ̀ ó mú ògì bàbà, ó fi ẹ̀fọ́ sí, ó fi mẹ́mẹ́ sí, that's okay. The next day oúnjẹ tó máa jẹ ẹ̀wà, beans or lentils, either beans or lentils. In fact, gbogbo àwọn bàbá wa ẹ jẹ́ ká ra ẹ̀wà sílé, ká ra lentils so that you can mix it with beans, so that kì í ṣe pé ojoojúmọ́ lọ́mọ jẹ̀wà, tó bá jẹ̀wà lónìí ó jẹ lentils lọ́la. Lentils náà ni but tá a bá parí màá rí nípa ẹ̀ so that kọ́mọ̀ jẹ́ kí ẹ̀wà ọmọ bá sú wa bẹ́ẹ̀ bí ẹ̀wà náà ló ṣe rí. But one of the best meal you can eat in your life is lentils and beans. O lè jẹ lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta lójúmọ́. Ọgbọ́n téèyàn fi máa ń prepare ẹ̀wà màá kọ́ yín, because no, I cook oh. My wife will buy everything. I enjoy cooking. I go to kitchen, I cook what I eat. Tí n bá ṣe oúnjẹ fún yín ẹ máa ṣì jẹ. Now, so ẹni tó bá mu ògì àti mẹ́mẹ́ láàárọ̀ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀fọ́ for the remaining meal of the day, is either kó jẹ ẹ̀wà tàbí lentils tàbí kó jẹ ẹ̀fọ́ lásán, ordinary vegetable. Má jẹ ẹ̀bà mọ́. Tó bá jẹ́ pé ó fẹ́ jẹ ẹ̀bà lọ́sàn-án, tó bá fẹ́ jẹ ẹ̀bà lọ́sàn-án, má mu ògì láàárọ̀. Tó bá fẹ́ jẹ ẹ̀bà lọ́sàn-án, eat beans in the morning, either beans or lentils or vegetable. Ìyẹn ló balance. Tó bá dẹ̀ di ọ̀sán tó fẹ́ jẹ ẹ̀bà yẹn kónkóló, ẹ̀bà kónkóló ló máa jẹ pẹ̀lú plenty of vegetable. You are preparing for night sleep. Sherry, taba follow kini. When you are 100 years old, you will still be yourself. You won't lose your memory. I'm telling you. Why do people lose memory? People lose memory because there is accumulation of amyloid protein in the brain. And the reason why they accumulate in the brain is because of the excessive sugar and high carbohydrates containing meals that we eat. Anyway, that's for another day. Let's finish this. Irregular meal pattern. Can we go to the next slide, please? Next slide. Next slide, please. Okay. Now, what are the food that will make you to sleep well? And those are the food that will either serve as source of tryptophan. Tryptophan is an amino acid. Or it will help you to synthesize serotonin or melatonin. Don't bother yourself about those names. Now, but let's now bring it home. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa jẹ nuts and seed. Nut and seed. Cashew nut is very good. Cashew nut there. Tó bá fẹ́ panu, cashew nut there. Then seed, different seeds. We may not have access to that, but ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ dáadáa kó bá yé wa. Cashew nut there. Then coconut, because if you want to snack, you can snack with coconut. You cannot be wrong with coconut. Àgbọn, ẹ jẹ́ ká ra àgbọn sílé, ká fọ̀, ká kó sínú fridge. Tí o bá ti ń feel pé bí ń pa ẹ́, lọ́ra lọ mú àgbọn díẹ̀ kó fi panu. Then tiger nut. Tiger nut is very good. Tiger nut, cashew nut, coconut. And then, of course, we have talked about beans, then leafy. Now, kiwi fruit is very expensive. Kiwi fruit is expensive, but it's very good. Kiwi fruit is very good. They sell it at ShopRite. Then pineapple. Pineapple is good. Pineapple will serve as source of tryptophan, and it will help you to produce melatonin, which will help you to sleep very well. But there are other fruits that are not too good, like pawpaw. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣọ́ra fún bá ṣe ń jẹ pawpaw. Bá ṣe ń mu ọsàn, ká má mu ọsàn jù. Bá ṣe ń jẹ even apple. Apple has some sugar, but apple is good. You can eat apple. But those fruits that contain plenty of sugar, let's run away from them. Now, let's now come to meat. Number one no-go area is cow meat. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká jẹ ẹran màálù mọ́ o. Cow meat, even goat meat. Now, what do you eat? Fish. Croaker fish is the best. However, if you want to treat yourself, if you want to enjoy life, you can eat free-range chicken. Adìyẹ ìbílẹ̀, adìyẹ tó ń sáré kiri, kì í ṣe adìyẹ tí wọ́n kó sínú kéèjì o. Adìyẹ ìbílẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ ra adìyẹ ìbílẹ̀ lọ́jà. Then guinea fowl. Guinea fowl is very good. Guinea fowl is number one good meat that you can eat, but it's very expensive. Kí ni yóò bá guinea fowl? Awo dá lára tó pọ̀. Awo dá lára. Can I have the next slide, please? Now, exercise and sleep. I said it. Exercise promotes deep sleep. The ATP hypothesis is that exercise and active lifestyle increase the breakdown of ATP and lead to increased adenosine. And adenosine assists in sleep, but caffeine can block adenosine. And that's why we are encouraging people to run away from caffeine. Next slide, please. Exercise and sleep. Next slide, please. Cognitive therapy. This is very important. When you get to bed, tell yourself, I will fall asleep now and get 6 hours sleep. Speak to yourself. Tó bá dé orí bed tó fẹ́ sùn. Sọ fún ara rẹ pé màá sùn. Màá sì sùn for 6 hours. Tí n bá dẹ̀ ti jí ara mi ó balẹ̀. Because nǹkan tó bá sọ fún ara rẹ ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ọ. This is very important. This is cognitive training. Now, then, seek emotional clearance during the day. Don't quarrel with people. Let us stop quarreling with people. When you are emotionally disturbed, you can have problems sleeping in the night. I told you that cortisol will be released into your bloodstream. Cortisol is an hormone that inhibits sleep. Next slide, please. Sleep schedule. Adequate number of hours, same every day. We have talked about this. Next slide. Better sleep tips. Okay, my sister talked about this. 1 hour before bed, start to unwind. Turn off computer, phone, television. Dim the light, promote darkness. Yàrá tá bá fẹ́ sùn must be dark. Consider aromatherapy. You can use different good stimulating perfume. Consistent wake up time. Go to bed when tired. Time your caffeine. Can we have the next slide, please? Now, better sleep tips. If your brain is very, very clumsy, you can recite a poem. You can recite a prayer. You can sing an hymn. You can recite a mantra. Then, count breath. This is very, very important. How to relax. It is by breathing. Mo fẹ́ kọ́ gbogbo wa bí a ṣe máa relax. bí o ṣe lè relax at any time. When you want to relax, tó bá fẹ́ relax, you do what we call deep breathing and holding your breath. How do you do deep breathing? You inhale. O máa mí sínú, tó bá wá mí sínú, hold there. You will hold it. You will count 1. You breathe in, you count 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you begin to exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let me say it again. You count 1 to 4. You inhale. You hold it. You count 1 to 4. Then you exhale. You count 1 to 4. If you do that repeatedly, the whole of your body will relax. Especially when you are looking for sleep. I will show you very shortly. When you are when you want to sleep, that is how to initiate sleep. Tó bá fẹ́ sùn lálẹ́, bó ṣe máa initiate sleep ni pé you will breathe in, hold your breath, and breathe out slowly. If you do that repeatedly for about 5 times, you will fall asleep. Try it. Just try it. Today, when you want to sleep, breathe in. Count 1 to 4. Hold your breath. Count 1 to 4. Exhale slowly. Count 1 to 4. Do that repeatedly. You will fall asleep. Okay, next slide, please. Now, this is where I'm going to stop. Typical plan B. And in this slide, I said, although it is your desire to obey all the tips to make sure that you fall asleep, but you must always have a plan B, should in case you will not fall asleep. Ẹjẹ́ ń sọ Yorùbá, tí o bá fẹ́ sùn lálẹ́, o gbọ́dọ̀ ní plan pé kí ni màá ṣe tí n bá rọrùn sùn. That is what we call plan B. Because when you have obeyed all the rules and regulations, you have dimmed the light, you put off your computer, you put off your phone, you walk in the sunlight, you may still get to bed and not sleep. Ó tún dórí bed ọmọ yí kiri. Ìfà bóyá ẹnìkan pè é pé lágbájá mà ti kú. Sleep will run away. Or for whatever reason, then you need a plan B. This is the most important aspect of this workshop. The plan B, the things that you'll be doing every day, should in case you don't fall asleep. Number 1, when you want to go to bed, get a flask of hot water and cup by your bedside. In fact, I ní báyìí ní bá sọ pé ká máa kọ́lẹ̀. Tó o bá fẹ́ lọ sùn lálẹ́, ó boil omi. Ó sọ pé wọ́n bá boil omi, wàá rọ́ sínú flask. Wàá gbé flask yẹn, wàá gbé sí ṣẹ́gbẹ́ rẹ̀, wàá fi cup sí. That is number 1, plan B. Number 2, sleep initiation. There are different ways of initiating sleep. The first one is omi tó gbé sí orí bed, omi tó gbé sínú flask yẹn, wàá ra bu warm water there. You drink it. You are preparing yourself to sleep. You drink small quantity of warm water. Then you lie on bed. Number 3, you now do deep breathing. Deep breathing. How do you deep breathing? Deep breathing. You breathe in, you count 1 to 4, you breathe in. You count 1 to 4, you hold your breath. You count 1 to 4, you exhale slowly. You do that several times. If you do that several times, you will fall asleep. Don't forget how to fall asleep. That's what we are discussing.